Hey, how are you? How are you? It's been a while since I came live, and I said after I did the conference that I did about a month or two ago, I guess it's about 6 weeks ago. I said after I finished the conference that I spoke at that I was going to come live and do a Q&A session because so many good questions came out of that event, and I promised I was going to come and do a Q&A. But life is life. And the kids have been. I'm celebrating two kids' birthdays right now. It's birthday month in my house. Gosh, I've been house shopping. It's just so many different things going on. So welcome back. If you have been here before, if you're listening to this is the Higher Grade Help podcast. Thank you for being here. I'm so excited to have you return. Thank you for spending your time with me and being patient too, as um, we go through a lot of changes over here. And if you're watching this live stream somewhere, hey, if you don't know who I am and you're new to my face, I'm Cena Martin. I'm a workforce development strategist. And what that means is when you're ready to train your talent, when you're ready to find your A players, when you're ready to bring your team to the level of execution and optimization that they can perform at, you come get me. Uh, and I will come in and help you to elevate the outcomes of your staff, of your team members. So today on this particular episode, I want to have a conversation about finding your A players. One of the biggest questions I've received over this is always a common question, but I think it's starting to come up more now because of the climate that we are all going into. It's kind of interesting what's happening in this space. On one hand, we're going into holiday season, it's getting busy. You would expect people to start to, shop more, do more at work. Like you're expecting things to pick up, is what I'm saying, because we're going into the holiday space. But and at the same time, we're also in an economic climate that we've never seen before, in my humble opinion. So there's more uncertainty now, if you ask me, than there has ever been. I think we're in more uncertainty now than we even were in back during during the pandemic. And because of that, there's a drive, there is a craving for a lot of executive, team leads, entrepreneurs, companies, corporations, to not only pivot how they are serving clients, how they are showing up in their space, right? And like showing up in the marketplace, but more importantly, how do they find good people? How do they source good talent? So I want to have that conversation to answer this question today. And the question that I received was, where do you find good people to hire? And I'm going to talk about this from maybe two different perspectives, right? Uh, I'll I'll talk about this from the perspective of someone who is a part of let's say you work for a um, nonprofit, or you work for some type of company where you are not the actual owner, but you contribute greatly to the operations and the logistics of that business. And so finding good people to train, finding good people to upskill, finding good people who will help you to achieve your initiatives and outcomes at that organization is critical for you. And this conversation is of importance to you. So I'll speak about it from that perspective. And then I'll also speak about it from the perspective of an entrepreneur or business owner who is established to some level. You are dancing across the multiple six-figure mark somewhere in between there. You may be striving to go to like 200, 300, 400,000, right? Like crossing over that 200,000 mark, trying to go to the next level, the next space. And you have people who are currently who are currently in your workforce, but you're wondering, how do I transform them to A players, or how do I replace them with A players? You're probably more so wondering, how do I transform them into A players? Because it's going to cost you a lot to replace them. And so this is a worry for a lot of people across the board. I'm very clear on that. The questions that are coming in, reflect that, and I want to like dive into this today. So if this is useful to you, if this is of interest to you, of course, always, this is a two-way conversation. I love to have feedback from you. Let me know in either like in the show, in the comment somewhere, or underneath this, leave a review for this episode, and just let me know if this is like on time for you, if this is a conversation that you need to have, or it's useful, because I know it's useful, but let me know if this is if you're going to take anything away from the things that I share today during this episode, so you can find the people that you need to help you get things done, right? All right. All right, so let's start with the climate, okay, which I just touched on a little bit, but I would, before I answer the question, I want to preface it with some context and help you to look at this from a refined perspective, maybe not a new one, but a refined one. Okay, this current market that we are in is a referral market. If you don't know that, or if no one has told you that yet, or you don't see it, or you haven't seen that, let me be the first to tell you. This is a full-on referral market. It is we already know that trust is one of the most expensive commodities that exist in this whole internet era, in this digital era. You truly don't know who you can trust, how you can trust, which way you can trust, and you have to rely on not just your best judgment, but the judgment of the people who you have strong bonds with, strong ties with, strong relationships with, right? So what I noticed, even for those who are, even for job seekers or applicants, right, who are actively looking to switch careers, or they want to, move into like a parallel role for whatever reason, people who are trying to make transitions, right, in their career right now, even they know that it's a referral market. So the name of the game right now is referrals. And if you want to find A players, or if staffing is an issue for you and you feel as though you struggle with retaining people that you can trust, who aren't going to run off with your IP, it's not funny at all. Trust me. I'm just thinking through like some of the conversations I had with my clients about this. If you're concerned about people running off with your IP, taking your frameworks or your training, and you train them up and teach them everything you know about a particular role or a particular department, and then you're afraid of them like stealing it and running off with it, or just being unreliable or making you look bad, or whatever the fear is. One way you can combat that is to start to look at and I'm going to get ready to start going into my tips, but one way you can combat that is to start to look at the players on your staff who are performing, maybe not at 100% the way you want them to, but like, are they putting in a good 75%? Are they giving you like a good 85% of what you want and the type of people that you enjoy working with, because they produce the quality of results that you expect to see in the people that you pour into? I want you to start looking at them, because like I said, this is a referral market, and the way you're going to be able to keep people around you who get the job done is you have to lean into the people who are already showing you that they're capable of doing that. Because of course, chances are they hang around or they are associated with others who are similar to them. Or if they don't, and if they're not connected to people like that, they know at least where to find them, because they had to rely on certain people within certain qualities, certain characteristics in other people to assist them to get to where they are, right? So what I'm saying is, look at your players right now who are like giving you a great amount of effort. I think one of the mistakes I see with a lot of, I'm not gonna say a lot, but one of the mistakes I see with companies right now who shifted into like fully remote, a fully remote workspace, like for their team, is instead of them leaning into referrals from within, like their teams, they're just slashing and cutting even some of the top A players because of like fear, because of, loss of revenue. And I understand like businesses have to make cuts. I get that. I understand the layoffs have been, quite a ride for a lot of people for the last few years. But when you just cut like that and you just slash away and you don't source any of the, hey Jeanette, and you don't source any of that knowledge, you don't source the knowledge that those A players who are on your team possessed before you let them go, you are literally exiting out a portion of your business. Like you're just throwing it to the wayside. And this could be you if I'm talking to a business owner, but this also relates to you if, like I said, you're an executive director or you're someone who plays an executive position within a corporation and you have a say-so on firing or letting people go. Have you guys really done the work to like source what that person knows in an ethical way, not in a way where you're just using them as a warm body and then they tell you what they know and you throw them to the wayside, right? Have you really sourced what that person knows? Have you asked them like, hey, this is the struggles we're having. This is the conversation we had before about where the gaps are, what we're trying to accomplish, where we're trying to go. We see you working in this area, or we see, this area of the team. Don't make it personally about them unless it's an issue you have directly with that person. But if it's a department you're struggling with, or if it's a group of staff members within the department that you're struggling with, have you asked your A players like, hey, we're struggling with X, Y, and Z in this department. What do you know about the gaps that are there? You're closer to the day-to-day work than I am. Let's say pretend I'm, upper management somewhere close to the CEO, right? And I say, hey, you're closer to the gaps in the day-to-day than I am. So what would you suggest? Like, do you have anyone within your network who has expertise in this? Who would you refer to help solve this issue? So I think in this space, in this climate, there are too many companies who are missing the ball and dropping the ball, not even missing it, just totally dropping it on sourcing the knowledge, the experience, the wisdom that their A players have before they just discard, right? Just wash them away. And so what I want you to kind of like think about this from, reverse that and think about where you would go to find someone who is paying close attention to details like that. Someone who is a go-getter, someone who is an A player, someone who would be able to tell you where they see, gaps and things that aren't working out and where they could see improvements because they pay attention as they do their work on a day-to-day basis. And I'm telling you, one of the best places to find that, like I said, in a referral market is right within the network of the people who already work for you. So hopefully that context makes some sense. But let me give you the 10 ways that I would suggest you leverage a referral market so you can be highly effective and, find talented individuals for your team. Okay, I'm going to go through these kind of quickly. And I'll leave a note along with this. If you're watching the live stream, then you'll have to go over to the podcast when this is posted. But I'll leave a link in the show notes for you to be able to like download a quick resource that has these 10 strategies or these 10 ways that you could leverage a referral market to find talented individuals for your team. Okay, you want them in a written format so you can take them and run with it. Okay, the first thing, employee referral programs. I think this is one of the best ones, one of the obvious ones, but one of the best ways to do it. Establish a lot of these companies, hopefully yours has one, check and make sure, but there should be an established employee referral program that has incentives. And this is also an idea for you if you're a business owner and you're trying to like take it to the next level with your current staff and you don't have this yet, think about doing this. But you want to have like an established employee referral program. that has incentives for current employees who refer qualified candidates, okay? And incentives for employees who refer candidates like outside of their immediate family. Make sure that's a stipulation in there. Just my 2 cents. It doesn't have to just be cash that you give as an incentive. I know that's a worry with, cash flow issues. And like I said, this market right now, and I understand that cash bonuses does not have to be the only way you incentivize employees to refer qualified candidates to you, or your company is doing this and, they only offer a few incentives to those employees. You could suggest some of these other ways. So, take this with you and try this out. But you could do, they could offer cash bonuses, extra vacation days, paid lunches for a certain amount of days, or, a week or something like that, whatever's like fitting within the budget. And there's a lot of other perks, but that's 3 of the ones that I've seen work pretty well. So that's one way. Employee referral programs. If your company doesn't have an employee referral program, look at other employee referral programs to see how they're doing it, where they're sourcing talent from, and then what you could do to kind of mimic that or duplicate it for yourself. Because that's a great way, again, to find A players. Okay, employee referral programs are bomb, and you'll usually get very good candidates when you go that route. So that's the first one. Second one is networking events. Time is of the essence. So if you're going to go to an event, go with I talked about this years ago, like on a live stream, but go with a intention to go in, do your business, what you came to do, and get out. Go in, do your business, do what you came to do, and get out, right? Like attend, first of all, industry-specific events. So it should be an event that is very specific to your industry, to your field, or to the industry that you are sourcing talent in. And make sure that you know what type of employee, let's say, or I'm not gonna say contractor, but what type of like A player or team member or staff member you're actually looking for. So you go in with an objective. That's how you make sure you don't waste any time. Look at conferences, look at meetups, and of course, if you're watching this and you're having this conversation, you probably have began to, or you are knee deep in building a professional, like a network of professionals. So I would look there too and see what conferences are they attending. What meetups are they going to? Are they meeting qualified candidates as they do that? Right? Lean into your own referral network. Right? Lean into sorry, Instagram is, am I back? Okay, good. Instagram froze out for a second. Lean into your own referral network. Sorry about that. As you're going through this process, and just see like what they're doing and what's working for them, right? Okay. The next 3, online. Jennifer. The next 3, online professional networks, alumni networks, social media platforms, of course, internship programs. That's 4. Collaborate with industry influencers. Okay, offering employee development programs. That's another one. And always check. I just had another call coming in. Sorry, guys. Always check your company's website too. So check on your company website to make sure that the careers and job sections has had any like new submissions. It's easily accessible. Make sure you have your job openings displayed encourage your current staff member or team members to share those opportunities on their social media channels. Okay, I'm going through these real fast because I have to catch up with a dear sister of mine. I need to talk to her. And I just wanted to come in here and really quickly answer this question. So if you're struggling to find good people and you don't know where to find good people, try these 10 places: employee referral programs for your company or another company, networking events, online professional networks, alumni networks, social media platforms, company website, professional associations, collaborate with other industry influencers, like build relationships with thought leaders and influencers in your industry because they have a wide network that can help promote your job opportunities to a larger audience. So if you haven't thought about doing that, that's a must. Do that. Employee development programs is a little bit more, that will take you a lot more time. So I wouldn't suggest that to start out. Try the other ones first, but that's also an option. And then, of course, internship programs, which you can reach out to any school or local college and find an internship program to also source talent that won't be as experienced, but that's a dime a dozen. You'll find good interns, but it does take a search process and it does take time for you to comb through. You make sure you get the right person. It won't be like a knock out the park the first time, so be careful too with that. But that's 10 places that you could go to find your A players, to find good staff, and to find a good team. So to the individual who asked me this question, thank you. This was a great question. Hopefully I answered it well for you and gave you some ideas that sparked some action for you. If you're watching this or listening to this and you're, ready to put a employee development program in place for your staff or your team, you need to upskill, up level, and get them ready to own either the customer support or success departments of your company or your business, so you can remove yourself from the role. Then go ahead and book a call with me. Book an eligibility call with me. The link is in my bio or below this episode, and we can talk about your workforce development needs, what your staff needs, what your team needs, and the roadmap to get you there. So I hope this helps. Thank you so much for tuning into this quick episode, and I will see you for the next one.